On my kicker tonight, I borrow from the remarks made by President Uhuru Kenyatta earlier this week to the effect that government work is done in offices and not through the sunroofs of campaign vehicles. I rephrase that and direct my kicker to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. With less than 200 days to the election, all this talk about amending electoral laws should be the least of the worries for the IEBC because, to paraphrase President Kenyatta, elections are conducted at the polling stations and not between the pages of election laws. And I don't for a moment mean to misadvise the IEBC not to read or follow the law. Indeed, from the IEBC's own experience at the Supreme Court in 2017, they'd know that it's not a path to take. Some of those questions sounded so simple at the Supreme Court, but that was only until we saw the agonizing and futile search for answers. So don't get this wrong, the law is supreme. But it is to the practical, on-the-ground aspects of conducting the election that the IEBC must now be encouraged to focus because the clock is ticking and the hour is nigh. It is commendable to see that the IEBC has already embarked on the exercise of putting the logistics in place, including that unveiling of a 41 billion shillings budget and the mapping of over 53,000 polling stations. The polling station will be the most important place on the 9th of August, and the IEBC must aim to get it right in all the 50,000 plus polling stations. And it's down to only two things, really, nothing magical: the vote and the count. And the IEBC has little to worry about these two because these two have largely always gone fairly well in all elections since 2002. It is the ghosts that have attended to tallying and transmission of election results, the last three elections, that the IEBC must from this moment aim to exercise. The Supreme Court judgment of 2017, though denigrated by politicians and to a large extent by the IEBC itself, remains a resilient moral backdrop against which the IEBC must get it right in tallying and transmitting election results on the 9th of August. Amending or not amending the election laws will not change the enduring desire of the majority of Kenyan voters who are looking for an election result that reflects what they said in the privacy of the polling booth. And so, the amendment of the Election Act should not really be the greatest preoccupation of the IEBC. Getting the basics right, from procurement of the election materials to verification of the voters' register, and more importantly, that transmission of election results as tallied at the 50,000 plus polling stations. And that credible and verifiable election can only be conducted on the ground by honest election officials that would live true to the independence expected of the independent IEBC. Get down to work, folks. As they say in football terms, game near ground. That is my kicker.